Hello. Okay, so here I am finally getting around to video number 3 of my baby board book. This is a project I started back in June or July using an old board book discarded from the library and turning it into an art journal. So I've been wanting to make this video for a couple of weeks, but I kept forgetting when baby was napping, and so now she is, and here I am. So this was the first page in the book, and if you go back to video number 1, I'll talk about some of the processes I used to create this page. This page is one that I haven't shared yet in the videos, and I think this is one of my favorite pages from this little book so far. I really love the blue. I love the limited color palette. I worked with acrylic paints and using a paint pen in here. I used some textured stencils that I hand cut to create some repeating patterns in here. This part is gesso, and I really like the way the graphite works on top of the gesso, and I created this little shadow figure here. Let's see if I can get that in focus a bit better. There we go. You can see the texture. This is just hand-drawn painting and some carving into gesso to get some nice textured areas. A little bit of gold paint to add some highlights. So that one's one of my favorites. Then I went on to a bit of a lighter piece, and this one is about me and hiking. There's a picture of me that I just drew just out of my imagination, and this is me wearing my baby ergo carrier, and that's little baby's head on my back. That's what I've been doing a lot with baby lately, is going for hikes. This is a photocopy. It's not an image transfer, it's just a photocopy adhered into the book, and it's from quite a few years ago when I was hiking up Cypress Mountain in West Vancouver. This has some collage papers, my favorite teal golden paint, some writing, and a paint pen. On the last page of the book, I've used a journal entry that was from back in April, and this is just talking about motherhood and my process of using art as something that is just my own and a way to process my feelings and emotions and to kind of escape into my own world for a little while. So I took that journal entry from April and I copied it into this book because I didn't know what the book would be about when I started, but it has emerged into being a book about motherhood. A few technical notes from a learning perspective for myself here. You can see down the spine here that as I closed the book and I transported it places, it cracked and even has some pages that stuck to themselves and adhered when they got folded together, and it's cracking down here too. Now, I don't mind a weathered look to my pieces, but I was a little bit sad about these parts, which I might be able to fix, but I think the reason that it happened is that the original pages of the board book were quite shiny, and I tried sanding and I tried using medium and other things, but it simply didn't, the collaging and the paint didn't adhere well enough, and so it has that possibility of lifting. You can see a little fleck right there too. So on the very final page here, as well as the cover, which I haven't done yet, I pulled off that shiny layer to the book completely, and then I've gessoed it. So I'm still thinking about what I want on the cover here, whether I'll paint it or collage some images on. But it seems to be better. Gesso doesn't really want to stick to itself when you sandwich it closed like this, so it's a little bit better that way. Acrylic paint can stick to itself at the best of times, so some people have suggested that you just keep a piece of wax paper or deli paper between the pages, or I could coat the pages very lightly with some talcum powder, but I still think it would have been better had I prepped the pages so that they weren't shiny in the first place. I also took out a page. There was one more board piece right in here, and I sliced it out because the book wasn't going to close anymore with that many pages and them getting thicker. And then I used a little piece of collage paper here, and I used a thicker gel medium to re-adhere this page and the back cover together. So I kind of put them back together again, and then that leaves a bit more space in at the spine so that it will actually close. And then it's nice because it can be displayed when there's not too many pages, and you can kind of see several pages at once when you put it up on a shelf. So that's all for now, and I hope that you get to try one out for yourself. Thanks.